今天股市最大的消息，莫非就是 Netflix 盘后爆冷 ？Revenue 是7.87，但是预期是7.93 ，miss 掉，但是还 OK。EPS 呢爆出3.53，预期呢是2.89，超出预期22%，听起来很不错。它的问题就来了 ，Netflix 作为成长股，它的成长故事是什么？它的成长主题就是每个月订阅的数是高度的稳定增长，但是2022年。第一季度竟然出现了10年来首次每月订阅的客户减少的情况，而且一次竟然减了20多万之多，预期是增长273万，但是实际是减少了20多万。消息一出，盘后暴跌25%，具体原因我总结了2个。第一 ，Netflix 是标准疫情受益股，出现北美地区重开，大家花在流媒体上的时间肯定相对会减少。第二个原因呢，就是老百姓整体的消费能力下降。我们自己设身处地的去想这个问题，当你想节省开支的时候，你最先想卡掉的一定是对你经济压力最大的。Netflix 每个月的开销实际上只有8到12块美金左右，这是最基本的一个订阅。这不疼不痒的价格，正是能够让它连续10年订阅增长的原因。因为很多情况下，即使是想退订，但是由于这不疼不痒的数字，导致最后你都懒得退了。因为就算不退，好像在我们账面上也没有感觉到什么压力。但是从俄乌战争打响，导致油价不断攀升，物价飞涨之后，美国老百姓好像真的开始勒紧裤腰带过日子，10块钱也可以加2加仑油了。这也给我们散户敲响了一个警钟，就是其他 B2C 成长型，并且也是靠每月订阅式营收模式的公司，也有可能因为订阅减少而暴雷。Palantir 今天呢，居然又找到了上周最初的盘整区的上沿，感觉昨天的走势就好像一个假摔一样。Palantir 呢就依然维持着低位震荡的走势。我认为 Palantir 会在财报以前继续维持震荡走势的机会大。股权激励呢，一直是我们 Palantir 投资散户心里的一根刺。不得不承认 Palantir 在 Stock-Based Compensation 这个方面比同类公司做的要多。但是我们也不能忽视，在去年 SBC 确实减少了5%，起码我们知道这个事情得到了管理层的重视。我们起码知道管理层并不是完全不在乎散户。常常跟一些朋友在一起讨论股票的时候，每当我提到 Palantir， 大家都是不屑的表情。大家都不屑的原因，无非是因为股权激励的问题啊，或者是甚至人把股权激励和股权稀释混淆。另外还有人总认为 Palantir 没有盈利的能力。其实这些问题并不是新问题，而且 Palantir 官方也给出了多次解释，只是很多人拒绝接受这些信息而已。作为 Palantir 的死多头，我整理了一段 Alex Karp 的采访，我觉得这一次是他把这2个问题解释的最透彻的一次。接不接受就看你的心态了。
There's stock-based comp and there's dilution. The dilution thing, that's a red herring. We're not issuing a lot of new shares. I think it's like in the $9 million range. And so it would be a little coy of me to say that's like no issue, move on. The thing to understand about Palantir, and then I want to just hit this, is like it's actually not the result of the DPO. It's the result of the fact that we were completely focused on building product. We had no earthly idea we were going to DPO till like right before we did it. And so most companies are, I mean, quite frankly, built so that when analysts look at it, the primary customer of most software companies is not the client, it's the software analyst. So it's like we obviously, our primary client are our clients, which doesn't mean, now we're thinking about how do we expose the data in a way that, people on the outside like you and professional analysts and others can look at the data and get a better sense of what's tracking and what's not tracking. But the primary source of a lot of these questions really comes down to, look, we built the company to support the U.S. warfighter primarily, and then dual use it for the glory of humanity, particularly humanity in the West. That was our idea. And because our primary client was not what someone at a hedge fund would think, we didn't actually think of these things from inception. And so now there's a process of normalization. You're going to see that in going forward on these calls. It's like, how do you normalize? How do you provide data that people can look at? How do you provide data that people can understand, that they're used to seeing, while simultaneously staying true to what our mission is? It's like our primary clients are the people we're serving. We're in full line with them, and that's why we survive. Even with the nascent sales force, you can get things to double, which is insane. So then you get to stock-based comp, which is like, okay, so there's two parts of it. Of course, IRI people kind of don't want me to do any kind of forward-looking math, but if you're smart enough to invest in Palantir, you're smart enough to figure out there's essentially there's the how are we comping people, And there will be a normalization that will get us into a range where you would see in a software company within the next 18 months, latest 2 years. But there's essentially, and that's going to take a little time. It is going to happen because it's also very much linked to another question, which is how do you actually run the company so it's profitable someday on a GAAP basis, not stripping out comp, and that is also within eyesight. And those are goals for Palantir because same reason we have no debt, same reason we have $2.3 billion on our balance sheet. This is a company built for bad times. Bad times mean strong finances internally, and that means at some point you have to be GAAP profitable. You can't be GAAP profitable if you're diluting people or your stock-based comp is totally is not in conformity with other companies. So you're seeing a normalization. This will change. It will change in the relatively near future. It'll be linked to other things that we believe are important for Palantir, like having a company that thrives in bad times.